On our breaking news, there's been a sensational development in the Prince Andrew sex abuse case. The Duke of York and his Australian accuser, Virginia Giuffre, have reached an out-of-court settlement in the civil sex claim filed against him. That's despite the Prince claiming in this famous BBC interview 3 years ago that they'd never met.
Do you remember her?
No. I have no recollection of ever meeting her.
Giuffre says she was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein to have sex with the royal when she was 17, a minor under US law. Court documents show the Duke will make a substantial donation to Ms Giuffre's charity in support of victims' rights, and that the Prince regrets his association with Epstein and pledges to demonstrate his regret by supporting the fight against sex trafficking and by supporting victims.
For more, we're joined by royal commentator Victoria Arbiter in New York. Victoria, look, even though he doesn't say it in his statement, is this basically the Prince essentially admitting guilt?
Good morning to both of you. Well, certainly if you look at social media, that seems to be the general consensus. And I think really more than anything, I was just quite surprised by the timing of this settlement. It was just over 3 weeks ago that Prince Andrew was demanding a trial by jury, seemingly determined to defend himself against these allegations. And suddenly now we have a settlement. But I think it is worth noting that around 98% of civil cases in the US are settled out of court. Some people are suggesting that this definitely defines his guilt. Others are saying that perhaps he had information that would blow Virginia Giuffre's credibility out of the water. The speculation simply isn't helpful. And I think at this point, we just have to hope that Ms Giuffre got what it was she was hoping for out of this settlement, even though she had mentioned that she had hoped that he would apologise and admit to some kind of wrongdoing. Clearly, that's not happening, but I think she'll be glad to have this financial contribution towards her charity.
So how much would the palace or the people behind the scenes of the palace have influenced this decision?
Well, again, Nat, there's a lot of speculation that this is Prince Charles saying, get on with it and clear this up. We cannot cope with any more damage, reputational damage. Now, of course, the monarchy did everything it could. Just earlier this year, they stripped away Prince Andrew's HRH style. They removed his remaining patronages and military associations. They really did distance themselves as well as they could. But at the end of the day, he's still Prince Andrew. He's still a member of the royal family. So, again, we can only speculate in terms of the influence the royal family might have had behind the scenes. But I think Prince Andrew probably recognised with a deposition coming up on March 10th that Virginia Giuffre's lawyer is considered an absolute pit bull when it comes to depositions. Given how poorly he did in his Newsnight interview in 2019, perhaps he simply couldn't face the deposition and the humiliation that likely would have come from it.
Yeah, that would have been some kind of cross-examination, wouldn't it?
Exactly.